Welcome back to another video. Unfortunately, this one is not one I wanted to make, but is what it is. This car is totaled. This is all running fine that you just saw me do in the last video. Motor, transmission's all good, but I was coming home from a concert the other night, and as you can tell, well, maybe, that wheel's a little more cambered in than it normally is. Fender's all destroyed as well. And if you look, you can't really probably tell on camera, but this seam weld here and a couple of the other ones where the body is put together is punched up about a, I don't know, 1/16 of an inch. Not a huge deal, but enough that I'm not fixing that. As you can see, the windshield is massive. Well, maybe. Yeah, so this was the crack that you saw at the end of the last video. That was from me being a dumbass and throwing my steering wheel on the dash. It bounced and hit the window from the inside. And then this crack here is from what I did to destroy it. I was driving down a dark road, and apparently there was construction on it, and one big hole bounced back out of it and then right back into another hole, which is what caused that. More importantly, though, it's going to be hard to see, is this wheel is pushed back and up 1 to 2 inches, back and up both ways. The mounting point for the trailing arm, or whatever you call it, that goes from the frame to the knuckle is, well, it was rusted, worse than I thought it was, and when I hit said holes, it pushed everything back and up. So, being that it's frame damage, this thing is no longer viable to use. So, this is going to come back out because it's new-ish. I mean, it's, what, say 50,000, 60,000 miles, something like that on the motor and transmission. Got the wheels off the car. This is the rear wheel, bent pretty good. Did crack it right in here, can't see that. Here's the front wheel though. It just got completely shattered. I mean, all the way around pretty much. I'm surprised it didn't completely separate on the car. See, all the way from here to here, so about 2/3 of the wheel broke. Obviously, bent the hell out of it. Hit the coil over when it initially hit, and then ground the hell out of the lip. Well, I was trying to limp it home, so that's good. Those two wheels are shot. Luckily, I have the Koenigs over here. Obviously, this one needs a new tire, but to be fair, all 4 of them need a new tire. I tried swapping this one out and getting it home on this. Hit the brake once, and it shredded this tire. As the whole suspension shifted and shifted the tire back into, well, basically one of these that got folded out on the driver's side. So that was nice. But I'm going to start tearing this down and see what all actual damage we did to the front end. I know the back end, I already looked at that. The frame, it hit so hard it shifted. Granted, there is rust as well, but it shifted the rear suspension back and up 1 or 2 both ways. So that's that right there totaled the car. So yeah, did a pretty good number on it. But we got another car to put this motor and transmission into that is running good and healthy and not leaking like crazy. Because the other base model, the valve cover is just blowing oil everywhere. And I really just like the 6-speed better than the 5-speed. After even just driving that one for another week, I can't stand having the 5-speed instead of the 6-speed. So, motor is out. Subframe looks fine. Power steering rack looks fine. The exhaust isn't bent. This control arms don't seem bent. The tie rods look good. Figured out why it wouldn't stop though is there's a ton of rubber on the back of the brake there. It's kind of hard to see, but all that black stuff is rubber. Rubber doesn't break. So yeah, that would explain why it was a little sketchy hitting the brakes getting off the highway after I swapped the tires to get it home. But it looks, I mean, the motor, there's no cracks in the motor, no cracks in the transmission. A little wet over here, but that's just coolant that came out from moving it around to get it out of the car. So the important stuff is salvageable. And then obviously this car is going to be scrapped now. I need to pull the sub wiring, pull the sub. I've already pulled the head unit and put it in that car. Pull the steering wheel, pull the seats, and then this thing is just going to get scrapped. I'm not even going to bother with pulling the master cylinder for the clutch because it's technically not even the right one for the car, which is probably why this clutch never felt right. I'm not going to swap over the brakes or the coilovers. Come over here. You can see the coilover got hit pretty well when I hit the pothole. There's some damage to the lock ring right here. There's damage to the threads up here. This is all worn off. There's a bunch of rubber and stuff melted up on the upper portion. So I'm not gonna waste my time swapping these over, and I honestly didn't like them that much to begin with, so not a big deal. They weren't super expensive. They were like, I don't know, $600-700 for a Godspeed, so they're not going to be pulled off. I will be pulling the exhaust off of this though, because the exhaust on that one is rusted to hell, and whoever put it on for the kid that I bought it from, they put the nuts on from the front pipe to the catback on backwards, and they're rusted to hell, so I can't even get them off. The main reason we're going to be swapping this over, outside of 6 speed and less mileage, is this thing is puking oil out of the valve cover gasket. Could I replace the valve cover gasket, clean it up? Yes, but 240,000 miles. Oh, shit. Well, that would explain a lot. That motor mount's freaking destroyed. That's good. That would explain why this thing moves like crazy when I shift. Didn't even notice that before. So that's fantastic. I really like that. I wonder if these bolts are just loose. Well, I may mess with that here in a minute and see if that's one of our main issues. Let's look at the transmission one while we're at it. Well, the transmission side looks fine. Cracked rubber, but not a big deal there. That's no bueno. That's not good. We're going to fix that real quick. Well, attempt to fix it. See if it's just the bolts are loose. That would explain a lot. I'm going to do that. That's no good at all. I tried tightening it up. I got this one as tight as I can. And I don't know if you can see it, but there's still a gap between the mount and the nut. This one, when I went to tighten it up, here, I can actually show you. Let me figure out how I'm going to do this real quick. That's free spinning. Oh wait, now it's not. What the hell? Oh, now it is. So yeah, that's not good. This one is as tight as it's going to get, and it is not tight all the way there. It is better, but yeah, that's not good. You don't want a motor mount bolt free spinning in the motor. So between the valve cover gasket leaking, I'm sure the timing cover gasket is leaking, and this motor mount, this motor is trash. So we'll pull this motor at some point when I have time, because I would need more than one day off in a row to be able to pull this motor and then get the other one in. But that's going to be the end of it for this one. We'll see you guys next time, and hope you enjoyed.